Hello, everybody. This is Knight from Relic of Knowledge, and welcome to our fifth and last episode for this season of the Knowledge of Jellal podcast. I'm your host, Knight, and with me today, I have Jellal.
With the 7 stars aglow.
Yeah, and today we're going to talk about the episode 8 of Jellal, season 1. So the last episode, season finale, Identity Crisis. Now, before we get into detail about it, I want you all to give a spoiler warning.
What are you doing here? You know who you are. You're not supposed to be here. Get out of here.
And that is addressed to anyone who hasn't seen episode 8, Identity Crisis. And that being said, let's get into it. So this episode being the season finale I thought it was a great season finale for a first season of a new show. I really enjoyed it. And let's just talk about how everything goes as it begins. It's kind of a summary. So the episode begins with Migas kind of a Skype hologram calling in and telling the Genlock team that everyone at the Anvil is alive, except Doc, because he blew himself up. And they're alive because Doc created, before he died, a kind of mimic signal to stop the nanotech. And that's how everyone survived the Anvil. And that the Vanguard is going to stop the Union in Chicago. And they want the Genlock team to basically stop the Nemesis so they can continue with whatever their mission is. To keep it off their backs.
You could say they wanted them armed and ready.
Okay. Yes,
What,
you could say that. Yeah, I don't see how it applies to this, but no one lost an arm, so anyway.
No.
Anyway, the Genlock team take the Renegade, which is their dropship, to like a train depot near the edge of the city, and basically go there and call out the Nemesis to attack them. And it turns out now the Nemesis can fly. He's got wings now, or a jetpack, and can fly over there. And they all fight it. And Cammy and Kazu use a mind chair, as well as Val and Yaz. They all together did their mind chairs. And then they all try to merge to fight it with everyone. But they get the uptime warning. And now it seems like for uptime, it seems to be, I think originally I said it could be like 10 minutes or so. Because of that thing when we first see it. But they got the warning closer to 20, maybe 30 minutes. So I'm guessing it's like 30 minutes for uptime is the highest or something. Everyone falls back except Chase, and they download out of their mechs. And while it's actually literally before they fall back, the Nemesis enters the mind share space, to show that he can. And it fights Chase via mech and I guess mind as well. It gets to the point where Chase, since he didn't download with the rest of them, he exceeds his uptime and is permanently trapped in the mech, meaning he can never go back to his body. And they fight for a little bit, and Chase basically gets pinned down to the ground. I think like a crane tower or something just fell on him. For the Nemesis. And the Nemesis goes after the Renegade to stop the rest from uploading back into their mechs. And just as he's about to approach the Renegade and destroy them, I guess, Sinclair's mech shows up with Leon in control of it, also with Miranda and Jody in Striders. They start to shoot at it, and Miranda gets out of her Strider to stop it for attacking for a brief second. Just shouts Julian and stops attacking for a brief second, and then Chase immediately attacks the Nemesis. Then the rest of the Gen team show up, and they all mind merge or meld together and pin the Nemesis down and destroy it, as well as shutting down the nano in it. After that battle, Leon has to download because of his uptime. Has to download from his mech, and when he does, it turns out he's fine. He turns out goes back to his brain, is alive, but he ends up in a coma with severe brain damage. Afterwards, the Genlock team decides to go back to the Artasa, with Migas as basically, I guess, their tech support and haul-on builder or whatever, tech support, mechanic, as well as kind of like a link to the Anvil. They also take Leon with them for medical treatment. And then the credits roll, and afterwards the credits, the post-credit scene, where we see a group of Union soldiers walking in a city, like 5 of them, and presumably, I think it's probably New York, since they took control of that city. One of the soldiers runs away from the group into an alleyway, and it takes off his helmet, revealing it to be Sinclair. And that's it. That's the episode. And that's one of the first thing I want to talk about is Sinclair being alive, and I guess working with the Union or trying to be undercover with the Union or something. What do you think of this, Jal?
I'm just gonna say, like, we kind of said like this might be a thing that was gonna happen. Like, not exactly, but we kind of called it at the beginning of this thing. It didn't entirely surprise me when I saw it at the end of the at the end, but
That Sinclair was still alive.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we called something like that. Like they're like something about Sinclair that he didn't die, but he.
it's
I
about
guess,
Leon. That's what it was.
oh wait, no, yeah, Leon. We called. Sorry, yeah, Sinclair. Leon using Sinclair's mech. I definitely called that, saying that it was such a weird detail how Doc just casually mentions that. Oh, Leon, you're compatible. You're just a little too old. It was just such a weird detail that it had to be proven later, and they had the mech from Sinclair. So
why wouldn't they use it?
why wouldn't they use it? But Leon. Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyway, so what do you think of Sinclair being alive?
Um, in all honesty, there's not really much to say. I don't know like what the travel or what peril he had to go through in order to make it so that way he would be on the enemy lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just a little bit surprising to me. That's all I'll say to that. It's just
Like,
a little bit
if he defected to the Union, which we know he didn't, because they used like a copy or something like that. Not like a copy, but I don't know, someone that went like plastic surgery or something to look like Sinclair to break into the anvil.
like
Like a what?
an android. Basically.
No, not an android,
like
because he did die. Remember, he did die, so not an android. It was just like someone with like a person with plastic surgery, not Sinclair, because Sinclair is compatible for Genlock, so it wouldn't have killed him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he didn't defect, because maybe if he defected, he would have gone to the anvil base earlier. But I guess he's just there undercover, because he then the where he's seen Sinclair has he's got like a black, he's got a ring over his eyes, like a black eye. So he definitely was like injured or tortured or something.
Something happened to him. That's all we really know.
I just hope I hope he in season 2 we see him maybe uses his mech. I guess he'll be part of the team or something.
There's no telling at this point, I'd say.
Yeah. But what did you think of the episode, Jarl?
In terms of being a finale, it was good in the sense that it set up for what they're heading for, which basically they set up for not season 3, season 2 to come.
Mm-hmm.
The only real problem I had with it, and it's not a problem that I had with the show itself, it's just a problem that I have with shows like this. Really, like, it kind of, you're left in this feeling like there isn't really an end. Like, you don't entirely feel like there's an end to them beating the Union. You got that feeling from the beginning of the series, in all honesty, and them landing the strike against another example of that. This finale kind of gave us like a sense of they're able to do some kind of damage to them, but enough to really make us rest at ease, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I felt to me like this was just like a first step against the Union, and there are many, many more battles that are going to be fought in this war against the Union, and probably many more seasons, or like season 2, season 3, who knows?
Yeah, like with any series, I found with Rooster Teeth, there's really no telling what they're gonna do next. I definitely want to say they did a good job of her character. By far, Cammy. She's gonna be the doctor.
She's gonna be the what?
the doctor's
The doctor's
next.
sorry. The doctor's what?
I said prodigy, like the doctor's next
Ah,
his replacement essentially. Like Cammy, I think is going to fill his shoes just fine,
yeah,
and I think that she definitely has the ability to kind of step up when she has to,
yeah.
which
For
I'm
like
always.
mechs, like mech design, mech taking care of ideas. Well, also keep in mind that Migas is gonna be there, like I guess, to help with Holons, as well as this Doctor Ja, who's Rufus's ex-wife, who knows things about Genlock. Also Caliban,
Yo,
who
I forgot.
has a part of the Doctor's mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who. We'll see where that goes because he's got part of Doctor Mind. He probably just has like the plans, is like what Doctor Well wants to do next. With Genlock.
I'm hoping so. I mean, like, there's only so far that can really go in terms of like not mimicking. Like, there's only go in terms of replacing him, I guess.
Yeah, because he doesn't have his wit. It's just like he's kind of got anti-humor. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's like that's
Yeah.
how he jokes around. But then really interesting was the episode was I guess so I guess Chase's body he doesn't need that anymore. He's just trapped in that mech. He's trapped in its holon.
Yeah, so that begs the question: what are they going to do with the body now?
Bury it, I guess. There's nothing really else he can do with it. And since he's stuck in the holon and his body is just destroyed, that I guess that's going to be his body. And he's going to basically have the hologram form. And then his body, and it's like the rest of him is going to be just in the mech.
That's not necessarily satisfying, is the thing. Like, I'm hoping next season they do have something they do with Chase rather than just have it left be at that. But if that is the direction they do decide to go with it, that in all honesty is fine.
I really like want to see like since like he's like for the past like 4 years he's been I guess in that tube and then goes back into the mech and goes back, but now this time he's just in the mech and it's just in the hologram. I want to see how he just reacts to how he has to adjust to that.
I mean, like he seems like he adjusted relatively well at the end
Yeah,
of
yeah. Also, it's
at the
kind
end of it when
of
he's saying goodbye.
yeah. It was also kind of seeing like how quickly it took him a while to realize that. Oh yeah, I extended my uptime. I can just have every single mod on since I don't have to worry about uptime.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Like,
interesting. Like, and if we see in season 2, them go to a fight, and then everyone else has to fall back because of uptime and have to re-download. But Chase is the only one who doesn't need to.
Mm.
Yeah.
It honestly makes him the ideal soldier that he kind of was. I think he was like, if I were to kind of like, based on what I saw of him in the first episode,
Hmm.
he seemed like he's kind of like the guy you'd say is like the ace in the hole, the
Yeah.
like one of the best. And now he's again one of the best, suggesting he can stay out longer. He can deal with things. The only problem is, will he feel more now that he's part of the mech when it gets damaged?
Like I could. Well, I don't think I'm not sure. Like it's like it's mine, so maybe probably just
Yeah,
like
but like, I don't know. It's just like it seemed that there should be more consequences than him. Like, especially if they come to react when he's being repaired.
we'll see probably see what they do with that in season 2. Hope it'd be interesting. And focusing just on this episode in general, I really like the fight with the Nemesis. Everything about it, especially how like the new gear for the mech, like Kazu for instance, he's got like his new sword, as well as some new like armor that he can just like spike armor for his shoulders. Well, I think he's got like a shotgun as well, kind of like in his sword I noticed. And then Valentina's got like a new like can turn invisible, like how she can and with her like human armor that she has that cloak, like that. As well as she's got a blade now. Kami just I think added more drones as well as some like sensors. And what was it? Oh yeah, Yasmin added some wings. Now she and Chase can fly. With her heat, and she has a heat laser. Everything about the fighting is episodes, how they all use their different new abilities and the mods and everything, which is really cool. I really liked it. And how they're also trying to fight they're fighting Nemesis not just physically with the mech versus mech, but also in the mind share thing.
That's the thing. Like that whole experience, I thought, like with the build up that they gave the Nemesis, it honestly felt like kind of rushed ish for how it ended. Like I would have liked to have like fine that they beat the Nemesis. I'm fine with that. But destroying it, like if they had just like severely damaged it and then the Union carts it away, repaired and brought back much later, that would be cool.
Mm.
In this case, they can't do that now. Now that it's been completely, utterly destroyed.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was the point of it destroying, and they're gonna have something. Who knows? Maybe the Union will build their own Holon since they have. Because something that was interesting was before Chase kills the Nemesis. Nemesis says to them, kill like the copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, which is leading to me to like maybe the Union made more copies of the Nemesis and has more Holons that they made.
But then that begs the question of, was the Nemesis ever the real Chase in the first place?
Who knows? Maybe it could be the Chase. Could be this was the original Chase, and then they just made copies of that Chase, and they wanted to like maybe have used this because this was the other ones weren't complete or something like that.
Yeah, it's like you said. There's no real way of telling.
Yeah, but everything that fight was I thought a great fight of how they just used. Or it kind of the only dumb thing to me seemed like so everyone's got like some sort of extra weapons. Besides, I think just having missiles, Chase just uses a gun, and that's really it.
I mean, yeah, in all honesty, you're right about that. You're right.
Yeah. Also, something about Chase's mech, it kind of reminds me of their I think of like Chase's jet that he flew in the first episode. Something just sort of reminds me of. Could be intentional, but it kind of just makes me think that. Can you make it transform? And can you make it a transformer, please? Since he's in there, he's stuck in there. How about you have him transform into a jet?
Yeah, or make him like the Zords of Power Rangers or something like that. Have him combine into a Megazord or something like that.
That'd be interesting if, like, in season 2 or a later season, you make them Megazord and all of them combine. It can be like a transformer combiner. Transform and combine into Mega Genlock team. What?
Into Mega Genlock thing.
Mega Genlock thing against the Mega Nemesis Combiner. Rawr.
I'd want to see that. I
want to see that too. I really want to see Hope in season 2 with these new mech designs and whatever they do with Sinclair and Leon. I called that Leon would use the mech. I didn't expect when he came out of it to be in a coma.
I mean, like, it's like the doc said, like, he was compatible. That's kind of why he lasted as long as he did.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he could just plug himself into a mech and be fine.
You think he'll be fine in season 2? You think it'll be like a few months and he'll be fine? Or
well, that's the thing, because if I can't say what it's like to be in Genlock, I don't think
I'm sorry, what?
I said I don't really know how to answer that because I feel like there's no way for me to tell you what Genlock really does to you in terms of like damage in the mech and then what it does in your brain coming back. Mm-hmm. There's no real telling, and because of that, I can't really tell you like when I think he's going to be back because I just don't see it. I don't know.
Yeah. Who do you think would if like Leon's fine and Sinclair to get back or whatever to the Vanguard? Who do you think would use Sinclair's mech? Leon or Sinclair? I'm thinking Sinclair, probably.
I mean, like, I don't think Leon would want to go into another coma.
Yeah.
Is the thing. I think he would have learned by now. Yeah. I don't want to phrase it like I should have known this would have happened, but basically, that's exactly what I'm going to say. He should have known. He'll know by now not to do that.
Yeah.
Like haphazardly or however you want to put it.
Yeah. Something I just thought of.
Yeah.
Who do you think it was Migas who set Leon up in the mech? Like, who do you think did that? Because only the Doc would know how to, and he did blew up. He blow up. He didn't blow up the anyway, he destroyed the genlock like the pods that you like sleep in when he blew himself up with a grenade. I think that seemed like it did some damage. Do you think they just repaired it and Amigas like downloaded him into the Holon?
Well, here's the thing about that. What I'm assuming is one of a few things could happen. And there's one of these things where I actually don't believe that it's the case at all, and I think you know what that is. So in that case, you guys can just say no to that. I'm thinking there's a chance that the doctor might have survived, which is honestly probably not what happened. I'm not banking on him being alive, but I'm thinking that might be a large factor in why why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or like you said, they could have just repaired it, or maybe the doc moved it before
Or had
when
like
they
a
thought they wouldn't need it.
or had a backup or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah,
And then
because
they thought like, oh, we don't need it anymore. Why is it still
because
here?
when you show Leon's download from the mech, it is Cammy, and I guess Migas helps, and Caliban doing it. I don't really see Migas doing it, so I guess he's one who probably uploaded him into it, but maybe something went wrong with the upload a little bit, and that's why when he downloaded back, it was caused him to be in a coma.
There's a chance of that, I'd say.
Yeah.
At this point, there's really no telling, though. I mean, like, again, we can't describe what it's like to be,
Yeah.
like, what it takes to do it. I mean, like, what's her name? Cammy seemed to be able to do it just fine, you know?
Yeah, and as you said, like Cam is probably gonna be and as well as Migas, probably the ones to come up with all the tech and everything. I thought it was very interesting with that nanomech shutdown. They're probably just gonna the unit's probably just like, yeah, this doesn't work anymore for you guys. Don't do the mimic thing, and that thing's obsolete. Just keeps updating it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what do we really know at the end of the day? Like, in terms of what their thought process is for things? Like, what do we know about them?
the Union.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So one thing I've had, like what I want to know is like the motivation for why the Union is attacking. Not like motivation like for why is the leader of the Union attacking everyone, or what did they? I want to know mainly what they want. We can tell that they want control of everything. Basically, they want the Union. They want the Vanguard gone. They want basically control. They want to be the government or whatever.
I mean, that might
But
just
what
be it.
what yeah, but what caused them to be like that? But why? That's something I would want answered. And I guess for like building this like world and conflict and whatever of Genlock, I guess they couldn't fit that into like a first season since considering it's only been 8 episodes long, even though they've been long episodes. I have a feeling they're gonna probably focus a little bit on that in season 2.
Or we're hoping at least.
Yeah, we're hoping at least that happens.
Yeah. And then a minor complaint I also have, or a minor thing I want to see in the next season, which could just be the Romaniac and me. I kind of do want to see what happens with Miranda and Chase. I kind of do want to see them get back together.
It seems to me that it's kind of being focused to, after this last episode, it's kind of being focused to Yasmin and Chase. And then Miranda and I guess, what was her name? Jody? Seems to be like that. Like at the end of the fight, Chase and Miranda are talking like they're not their same person as they were.
As they were.
As originally back in New York. Before the war happened. And how when Yasmin and Chase interact and how they've been interacting, I think it was the last like 2 or 3 episodes. I feel like season 2, if they do like romantic stuff, it'll probably be maybe more Yasmin and Chase.
Again, no telling what's coming. I'm just saying like that's what I'm hoping for. It's the part of me that likes romance. It just seems like it's a shame kind of what happened with them. The love they had. Not squandered per se, but ruined-ish the way it was.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah. So, if anything else
Uh,
that you want to take away from this episode, or do you think we should wrap this up soon?
um, I'm trying to think right now. Like besides like thinking that like this is just basically we haven't seen the Salem of this. I'm thinking that eventually we are going to.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm worried about. Nah, actually, not really. I actually don't think Rooster Teeth would repeat the formula
What formula?
with Ruby. It's not necessarily that it's predictable.
No, but what's the formula?
The formula I find, well, particularly for Ruby, it was always things get better, get better, get better, get better, get better, and then it just plummets downhill and then rises back to get better, get better, get better, falls downhill when things are going well. Like things that go well never stay going well in
Yeah,
Ruby.
like volume 1, good. Volume 2, good. And then volume 3, it just the follow beacon happened. And volume 4, the effects of that. Volume 5, things are looking up. Volume 6, oh, things are looking up as well. Volume 7, who knows, since it hasn't come out. But I feel like for this, since Ruby was kind of like not a war, but like a battle between like small groups. It's kind of a war, but this is like a full blown out, I guess, war. That it won't be just things. It would just be their good days and their bad days to it.
It's just like I feel like just I don't know. It could be just because of the fall of Anvil that made me remember the
Yep.
fall of Beacon. How I felt then. That's making me say that. But
I feel like we began after, like, if the New York would be the equivalent of Genlock of the fall of Beacon. I feel like Genlock begins after the fall of New York. Well, it does. The fall of Beacon. And they have to like keep going up, up, up from there. And they haven't even they won like with their one major fight, which was destroying the Nemesis.
yeah, so now there's no telling like what's gonna happen to drag them down if they do keep going up.
Yeah.
Because like it seems like they kind of quickly recovered from the problems they faced before. Like they got over the fact the Doc's gone. Everyone in Anvil is okay. They can just rebuild that kind of easily. And they just took out a big like put the Genlock against the Union forces except for the Nemesis. The Genlock team has it under wrap.
Yeah.
But and now they just lost their greatest weapon, the Genlock Nemesis.
Yeah, the Union.
So that's good. So how are things going to go badly for them? That's what I want to know. Like, what if the higher ups of the Union know about Sinclair, and what if they're able to use that somehow to turn him against?
Kind of do what they did to you. Think they force him to be put in force him into a mech and then run out his uptime and trap him in the body and then torture him like that?
Well, not necessarily like that, but like maybe he eventually does return to Genlock, to the team, and then he self-destructs or something like that. I don't know.
Here's the thing about that. I feel like because we saw him as a soldier, that and like it took off his helmet. It's like he wanted to be careful, like make sure no one saw who he was. I feel like he's undercover. Like the Union doesn't realize that he's alive and that he's in the Union. Because if he was, they'd probably we should get this guy and we should make sure that he's not compatible. Make a haul on and have him in it and just force him to do what we want.
The way I see it, you never really know.
I feel like what the Union should do is make mechs of their own, maybe robotic mechs, not with human brains, but like remote control mechs.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, now him just literally just control. Yeah.
Because there's actually one more.
Well, before you get to that, the thing is with the Vanguard is they started Genlock because their robots kept getting hacked by the Union. So they made the Genlock because they can't be hacked. So it makes sense for because apparently the Vanguard has no hacking skills or whatever to hack the Union's robots. Well, except for the nanotech now, but kind of makes sense if they just make mech-sized robots.
Hmm.
Yeah. And,
That that'd be interesting.
and so, what were you gonna say?
What I was gonna say, just another thing I literally just thought of, because I was thinking about Chase, and essentially his body's an empty shell right now. His mind isn't one with his body. His mind is separate from it.
Hmm.
So, what would they possibly be able to put another mind into the body?
But why would they? I don't. Hmm.
Because if you're saying that they do force Sinclair into a mech, if that is a thing that they do, would they be able to put a Union mind into the Sinclair's body?
Well, I don't. Why? What would be the point? It kind of be. I don't see the point. Somebody be giving up their body, going to another body. Probably better just get like plastic surgery or something. I don't see the point. I don't think it's like a.
I mean, I'd say then it's a bit more
Well, also, and
believable.
also, it was like and when the Nemesis said he wanted his body back, Doc was like he doesn't know if that's gonna work. Like, it could be just because of the uptime, or it could be that he doesn't know like how to they don't know like how to bring someone like from a body that has like their uptime or whatever. I don't think you could put like for use Genlock to put someone's mind in another human body from human body to human body. I don't think that could work.
All right, it was just a thought. In all honesty, I just like
Interesting
thought of
thought.
it.
I don't think Genlock would be used that way.
To that, I say you never know.
You know, I know. Anyway, and anyway, I think we should wrap this up. So overall, this was a well, I think we'll maybe have a full video review of Genlock, the entire first season, maybe in a week or so, or whenever we decide to make it. But anyway,
I don't know about that.
we
No,
don't know. Maybe
honestly.
maybe we'll do a review. Well, who knows? Anyway,
Like we didn't do it for Ruby, and Ruby's my
well,
favorite
it is a new
series.
season, so a new series. So who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we
Come
won't.
on, man.
Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but just a possibility. Anyway, this was a great season finale, great first season, and when season 2 comes out, we'll make our knowledge of Genlock season 2. And so yeah, this has been Knight and Joe.
And a very pissed off Jellal now.
This has been very pissed off Joe. And yeah, and if you want to follow us on Twitter at Relic Knowledge, you can do that. Don't forget to like, share the video if you like, subscribe to our channel, please. It helps a lot. You can follow us also in the description below. These will be our Ruby Amino and Genlock Aminos. If you want to follow us on there. And yeah, this has been Knight, and as he said before, very pissed off Jellal. Signing off.